what's up guys, Maidenslave here, and today we're going to talk about Point of Entry by Judas Priest. And the first thing I want to clear up is the artwork, because there is two pieces of artwork for this album, and they're both equally pretty dominant. So the original one with the red logo on it and kind of the, I don't know what the fuck that thing is, I'm pretty sure you guys will tell me, but it's the dark black cover with, kind of looks like something in space, maybe something shooting off or something, is the original album cover, but now it's called the European cover. And then there's the other cover with, it looks like a desert setting, and it looks like it has a road going down to the Point of Entry logo, but that's actually printer paper if you look at it closely. And that was called the US cover, but now they're calling it the remastered cover. I don't really prefer one over another, because to me they're both pretty damn bland, to be honest with you guys. And that actually gives you a pretty good taste of what you're going to get on this album for the most part. So let's go ahead and go back a little bit. The last album that they released was British Steel, and this was definitely the most commercially successful album that they had at this point. They were at the height of their career, they were totally enjoying it, and to me they actually got a little bit too comfortable with the success. As I mentioned before, I'm into basketball, and when a really good team gets a little bit too comfortable with being successful and being good, they kind of start losing because they got too comfortable. And Judas Priest at this point to me started losing in the music department. You know, they got a little taste of commercial success on British Steel with the more commercially friendly kind of chorus-based songs, and they totally went down this road on Point of Entry. In fact, they recorded this album, and they actually put it in the album sleeve, that they actually recorded it in a very comfortable setting off on a desert island, kind of very nonchalant, enjoying themselves, and it definitely shows. There is musically nothing really impressive. In fact, all the songs on this album have pretty much the same formula. It's the, you know, this kind of thing that I hate the most out of Judas Priest. The, you know, the kind of driving classic rock, the basic, very basic formula that they use. They kind of go on autopilot with this shit on this album. I mean, in some songs it works, it's okay, it has a good chorus, it has some good melodies, but when they kind of take a back seat and kind of get too comfortable, they make pretty much all fillers. So the production is almost no different than British Steel. It sounds pretty good, nothing unique about it. It's pretty heavy, it's okay. First song, Heading Out to the Highway. This is actually one of the highlights on the album, and it gives you hope. This is one of the better songs using that formula that they always use. It has a really good chorus, it has a really cool melodic section with the twin leads, and overall it's definitely a classic Judas Priest song, and they play it a lot. The next song is called Don't Go, and here we go, basically. I really don't like the start of this song. It's a very rocky start, and from there it just kind of, it's a filler. I mean, the song has a lot of fillers on it. Next song is Hot Rockin'. This is another one of the good songs on this album. Sure, they use the formula that they use on this entire album, but the chorus is really good, really catchy, really memorable, and overall it is a pretty dang good song. Next song, Turning Circles. Another filler, pretty much, is what it is. I mean, it's one of the better ones, I'll admit that. I kind of enjoyed it. It seemed to be, for a while on this album, that they were kind of switching off between strong song, weak song, instead of putting all the weak songs in the middle. So Turning Circles, it's okay. Next song is Desert Plains, and welcome to the best song on this album. I mean, this song is very reminiscent of a lot of the great music that they were doing in the 70s. A lot of the music that I liked off albums like Sin After Sin and Stay in Class. It actually sounds, although it does kind of use the same formula, kind of a slower paced groove, there's something about it that's different. It kind of reminded me in a lot of ways of their version of Diamonds and Rust. It's a very good song. It's very dynamic, and you know, there's not a title track on this album, but if there were, it would definitely be Desert Plains. This is the highlight of the entire album, to be honest with you guys. And after Desert Plains, you might as well just turn this album off, because the rest of it is fillers. You know, unless you're not paying attention too much to the music, you're not really going to enjoy the rest of this album. And it starts with a song called Solar Angels. And yeah, okay, I'll admit it's one of the better fillers. It has a little bit more to offer. But that said, it's still a filler. It's not a very memorable song. Next song is You Say Yes. Now this is one of the more okay songs on the album, simply because of the chorus is so fucking catchy and so memorable. I mean, you can't avoid kind of liking it, to be honest with you. I couldn't avoid it. Next song is All the Way, another filler. Next song is Troubleshooter, another filler. And the last song is On the Run. It's okay, but it's too repetitive. I mean, here we are, you know, at the end of the album. Point of Entry is nothing but choruses. I mean, honestly. And it's not the fact that they repeat it too much. In fact, all the songs on this album are pretty damn short. It's just the fact that this album is totally uninspired. Every song has the opening, and then it has chorus, the chorus part, and then it has the end. I mean, there really is nothing unique there at all. It's very bland, except for about 3 songs that are memorable on it. You know, Heading Out to the Highway, Hot Rockin', and Desert Plains. I mean, you could catch that on a best of. They play it live. But for the rest of this album, I mean, they even admitted that they were kind of just enjoying being a success at this point. And they kind of, you know, it's like they got a little taste of real commercial success. We're talking real commercial success. Breaking the Law was a hit. Song on the radio, it was a hit video. So it was like, they were like, whoa, you know, that's the fucking edge right there. And they kind of flirted around with it a little bit too much on this album. And of course, after this album, they definitely got back on track with Screaming for Vengeance. To me, Point of Entry is kind of just them kind of getting too comfortable. They got off track a little bit, but, you know, they were still a very good band. There's still really good moments on this album that make you think that, that let you know that they are still definitely in their prime. They're not going anywhere. Maybe they put out albums too fast. This came out only 1 year after British Steel. I mean, it came out in 1981. They probably should have just took a break and just waited a little bit longer. And they, you know, because they had some good songs on here, and they could have, you know, meshed those songs with the good songs in Screaming for Vengeance, and I think they would have came out with a much stronger product. I just think that they didn't have enough material yet, really, to make a full album. There's way too much filler on this album for me. So yeah, I'm just gonna fucking wrap this shit up. I'm gonna give Point of Entry by Judas Priest a 6 out of 10. Kind of just a weaker album for Judas Priest. Yeah,